Young billionaire judge saw his black ex-wife with quadruplets in a luxury hotel, and he regretted. The woman positioned herself subtly between Cole and the children, leaning to whisper something in Naomi's ear. Whatever she said drained all color from his ex-wife's face. Have you ever had a moment where one glance changed everything you thought you knew about your life? Hi viewers, kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is. Warm welcome to the family. Enjoy the story. Cole Harrington's world shattered into 4 identical pieces the moment he saw them. Toddlers with his piercing blue eyes, clinging to the legs of the woman who'd walked away from him 3 years ago. He froze mid-step, champagne flute nearly slipping from his fingers. The legal conference chatter faded to white noise around him as he stared across the Ritz-Carlton's marble lobby. Naomi, her emerald gown caught the light as she bent down to whisper something to one of the children. She looked more stunning than when she'd left him, her curves more confident, her smile more assured, until she saw him. Their eyes locked, and her carefully composed expression faltered for just a heartbeat. Fear, that's what he saw flash across her face before she recovered, whispering urgently to the children as she tried to guide them toward the elevators. 4 children, identical, each with his eyes, his jawline, his mother's dimple. Impossible. Judge Harrington, his clerk appeared at his elbow. The Chief Justice is asking for you. Not now, Cole said, already moving across the lobby. 3 years of carefully constructed detachment crumbled with each step. The divorce papers had cited irreconcilable differences, a polite legal fiction that masked the ugly truth of their final fight. The medical report confirming his sterility. His bitter accusation that she'd only wanted him for his family name and fortune. Her tearful exit. And now this? Naomi, he called, his judicial authority carrying his voice across the crowded space. She straightened, positioning herself between him and the children. Cole, just his name, but loaded with warning. These are... He couldn't finish the sentence. Not here. She cut him off, eyes darting to the crowded lobby. Not now, but one of the little girls, she couldn't be more than 3, peeked around Naomi's gown. Mama, who's that man? Cole knelt down instinctively, a motion that seemed to come from somewhere beyond conscious thought. The child had his eyes exactly, not just the color but the shape, the slight tilt at the corners that had been passed through Harrington generations. Hello, he said softly. Judge Harrington. A new voice, low and authoritative. Cole looked up to see a woman in a tailored suit, federal security badge partially concealed but visible enough for him to recognize its significance. I need you to step back now. The woman positioned herself subtly between Cole and the children, leaning to whisper something in Naomi's ear. Whatever she said drained all color from his ex-wife's face. Enjoy your evening, Judge, Naomi said loudly, voice steady despite her pallor. We were just leaving. As they moved toward the elevators, the smallest boy turned back, waving at Cole with a tiny hand that mirrored his own. Have you ever had a moment where one glance changed everything you thought you knew about your life? Drop a comment if you've experienced that instant when your past and future collided, forcing you to question everything in between. By midnight, Cole had upgraded Naomi's room to the presidential suite, arranged for champagne and children's desserts to be delivered, and bribed the concierge for her room number. Tactics that would be unseemly for a federal judge, but he was beyond caring about appearances. He waited until 1 a.m. when the hotel corridors emptied of conference attendees. His heart hammered against his ribs as he approached her door, the same way it had the first time he'd invited her to dinner 6 years ago. He raised his hand to knock, but the door opened before his knuckles touched wood. It wasn't Naomi who greeted him. The Secret Service agent outside Naomi's hotel suite had 3 words that stopped Cole cold. They're watching you. Middle-aged with steel gray hair and eyes that had seen too much, she blocked the doorway with practiced efficiency. Her badge, briefly flashed, confirmed his suspicions from a lobby. United States Secret Service Executive Protection Detail. I don't believe we've been introduced, Cole said, adopting his courtroom tone. I'm Judge Cole Harrington, youngest federal appointee in Georgia history, heir to the Harrington real estate empire, graduated summa cum laude from Harvard Law. She smiled thinly. We know exactly who you are. That's the problem. Moonlight sliced through the presidential suite's windows behind her, casting long shadows across plush carpet. From somewhere inside, he heard the soft murmur of a children's show playing on television. I need to speak with my ex-wife. No, sir. What you need to do is walk away. Her voice dropped to barely above a whisper. Those children, they're not supposed to exist. A chill ran through him that had nothing to do with the hotel's air conditioning. What did you just say? Judge Harrington, I respect your position, but you're stepping into something bigger than a family dispute. Those children are under protection for reasons beyond your security clearance. Cole straightened to his full height, using the stance that intimidated courtroom opponents. Those children have my eyes, my features. If they're who I think they are, they're exactly who you think they are, the agent interrupted. And that's why you need to walk away, for their safety and your career. From inside the suite, a small voice called out, Miss Diana, can we have more juice? The agent, Diana, softened momentarily. Coming, sweetheart. To Cole, her expression hardened again. Go back to your room, Judge. Forget what you saw tonight. That's not happening. Diana sighed. Then you just made some very powerful people very nervous. She glanced down the hallway in both directions. You have a security clearance review scheduled next month for your work on the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, correct? Cole nodded, unease growing. Expect that to be moved up. Significantly. They'll be looking for any reason to declare you compromised. Who's that? Diana checked her watch. I've already said too much. But she hesitated. My shift ends at 4 a.m. The children are usually awake by 6. Her eyes met his, communicating something beyond her words. The connecting door between the presidential suite and the diplomatic suite next door isn't on the hotel security system. Before he could respond, she started closing the door. Good night, Judge Harrington. I strongly suggest you forget this conversation. The door clicked shut. Cole stood frozen, mind racing through possibilities, none of them good. He'd built his career on following rules, on respecting systems and protocols. But those children, his phone buzzed with a text. Unknown number, room 2140. Now, have you ever been told to walk away from something that mattered deeply to you? What would you risk to discover a truth others wanted to keep hidden? Share your thoughts below on how far you'd go for family, even family you just discovered. Cole moved quickly to room 2140, 3 doors down for Naomi's suite. He knocked softly, heart-pounding. The door opened to reveal Naomi in a hotel bathrobe, her hair loose around her shoulders, eyes wary but determined. You shouldn't have come, she said, but stepped aside to let him in. The room was standard issue, not the presidential suite he'd arranged. Smart. She'd taken the upgrade, but was staying elsewhere. Those children, he started, voice unsteady. Are they yours? She closed the door, checking the peephole first. Yes and no. That's not an answer, Naomi. It's the only one I can safely give right now. She crossed to the window, peeking through the curtains before closing them tightly. The woman you met, Diana, is one of the good ones. She's helped keep us hidden. Hidden from whom? What the hell is going on? When the door finally opened fully, Naomi stood there in silk pajamas, eyes fierce with determination. You can either help us disappear tonight, she whispered, or you can meet your children before they take them away forever. Cole stepped closer, close enough to catch the familiar scent of her perfume. Jasmine and vanilla, unchanged after all these years. I want answers, now, and I want our children safe. Her voice broke slightly on the word hour, the first crack in her composure. I've been running for 3 years, Cole. I am Dayut. She moved to the desk, opened her laptop, and typed in a complex password. What I'm about to show you will end your career if anyone discovers you've seen it. Last chance to walk away. Cole didn't hesitate. Show me. Cole had spent 3 years building his reputation on facts and evidence. But nothing in law school prepared him for 4 pairs of identical blue eyes staring up at him, silently demanding recognition. The presidential suite felt surreal at 6:30 a.m. cartoons playing softly in the background as 4 toddlers in matching pajamas ate breakfast at a table sized perfectly for them. Diana had arranged everything as promised, disappearing after letting Cole in through the connecting door. Naomi stood beside him, tense and watchful. "Their names are Emma, Ethan, Olivia, and Noah," she said quietly. "They'll be 3 years old next month." 3 years. 9 months after their divorce. One of the girls, Emma, he guessed from the pink headband, looked up and tilted her head, studying him with unsettling intensity. "You look like us," she announced. The hotel suite living room transformed into an impromptu family court as Naomi laid out birth certificates, photos, and DNA results across the coffee table. Evidence in a case Cole never knew was being tried. "I don't understand," Cole said, examining a birth certificate listing him as the father. "How is this possible? The doctors confirmed I was sterile after my college illness." "That's what they wanted you to believe." Naomi's voice was tight. "The fertility clinic we visited during our 2nd year of marriage? It wasn't just running tests. They were harvesting genetic material. Without consent? That's illegal? Unethical? Yes." She handed him the folder marked with government classification codes. "This program has been running for 15 years, identifying and targeting candidates with specific genetic markers, intelligence profiles, and professional trajectories." Cole flipped through documents, each page more disturbing than the last. Superior cognitive development, enhanced immune response, accelerated learning capabilities. He looked up sharply. "What did they do to our children?" "Nothing harmful," Naomi said quickly. "They're healthy, Cole. Just advanced." Emma was reading it too. "Ethan can already do basic addition. They're extraordinary, but they're still children." As if to prove her point, Noah spilled orange juice across the table, his lower lip trembling. "It's okay, sweetheart," Naomi soothed, grabbing napkins. As she leaned across the table, her hand brushed Cole's. The contact, brief and accidental, sent electricity through him. Muscle memory of a connection that had once been as natural as breathing. Cole knelt down to help clean up, finding himself face to face with Noah. The boy's eyes, identical to the ones Cole saw in the mirror every morning, studied him curiously. "Are you my daddy?" Noah asked directly. The question hung in the air, simple yet impossibly complex. "Noah, remember what we talked about?" Naomi said gently. "This is Judge Harrington. He's a friend, but he looks like us." Olivia chimed in, sliding from her chair to approach Cole. Without hesitation, she reached out and touched his face, small fingers tracing his jawline with recognition despite never meeting him. Cole remained perfectly still, something primal and protective awakening in his chest. "Yes," he said, looking directly at Naomi. "I am your daddy." Naomi's eyes filled with tears. "Cole, don't. No more lies," he said firmly. "Not to them, not to me." Turning back to the children, he smiled. "I've been away for a while, but I'm very happy to meet you all." Emma, clearly the leader, assessed him with solemn eyes. "Mommy says we have to be secret because we're special. Are you special too?" Before Cole could answer, his phone buzzed with a text from the chief judge. White House called. "Your security clearance review is tomorrow morning, not next month. Something you want to tell me?" Cole looked at Naomi, cold realization dawning. "We're already too late. Would you forgive someone for keeping your children a secret if they believed they were protecting them? What lengths would you go to for family you just discovered? The boundaries between right and wrong blur when family is involved. Have you ever found yourself crossing lines you never thought you would? Tell me in the comments." "We need to leave," Naomi said, already moving. "Now, where have you been hiding?" Cole asked, helping gather the children's belongings. "Everywhere. Nowhere longer than 3 months." She handed backpacks to the children with practiced efficiency. "We were in Maine until last week. Before that, Arizona, California, Wisconsin. Who else knows about them?" Naomi hesitated. "Your father." The revelation hit like a physical blow. "My father knows? Not everything. Not at first." She checked the peephole before continuing. "After I left, I discovered I was pregnant. When the program representatives contacted me, explaining what had been done, I ran. 6 months later, when I needed help, I reached out to him. Cole's relationship with his father had always been complex. Respect without warmth, expectations without encouragement. The thought of him knowing about these children while Cole remained ignorant burned like acid. He helped set up trust funds for them, untraceable accounts. He has a hunting lodge in the mountains. We've used it twice when things got too hot. And you never thought to tell me? The hurt in his voice was raw. Naomi's eyes flashed. You told me you never wanted children that weren't biologically yours. Then you accused me of staying with you for your money. What was I supposed to think? That was before I knew they existed. Before I knew what had been done to us. Mommy, why are you yelling? Ethan asked, lower lip trembling. Cole and Naomi both stopped, exchanging a look of shared guilt. We're not yelling, sweetheart, Naomi said, kneeling to his level. We're just talking about grown-up things. Cole knelt beside her. Sometimes grown-ups get loud when they're worried. But everything's going to be okay. His phone buzzed again. Another text, this time from an unknown number. Hotel security has been compromised. Exit through service elevator. Black SUV waiting in loading dock. Diana. Cole showed Naomi the message. Do we trust her? We don't have much choice. Naomi quickly gathered the last of their belongings. Children, remember our adventure game? We're going to play it now. The four nodded solemnly, immediately lining up in pairs, each holding their backpack and a stuffed animal. What can I do? Cole asked. Carry Olivia. She's the slowest. And Cole. Her eyes met his, fierce and determined. If anything happens to me, get them to your father. The lodge has everything they need, documents, money, new identities. Nothing's going to happen to you, he said firmly, lifting Olivia into his arms. The little girl instinctively wrapped her arms around his neck, trusting him completely. Promise, Naomi whispered. Promise. He reached out, squeezing her hand briefly. We're in this together now. In the darkness of a moving car at 2 a.m., Naomi finally spoke the words that would make or break any chance of saving their children. It wasn't a fertility clinic, Cole. It was a government program. They'd been driving for hours, switching vehicles twice after leaving Atlanta. The children slept peacefully in the back of Cole's Range Rover, exhaustion overcoming the excitement of their unexpected adventure. Now, on a deserted mountain highway, with only moonlight illuminating the winding road ahead, truth hung heavy between them. The program was called Project Themis, Naomi continued, voice low to avoid waking the children. Named after the Greek goddess of divine law and order. Fitting, Cole said bitterly, hands tight on the steering wheel. Using a justice symbol to violate every ethical standard in medicine and law. Atlanta's skyline had long since receded in the rearview mirror as Cole drove through the night. His luxury sedan now filled with sleeping children and enough secrets to topple careers, possibly lives. How did they select us? He asked. You were the primary target. Harvard Law Review, stellar judicial record, family wealth and connections, perfect genetic profile. She looked out the window at the passing shadows. I was suitable because of my IQ tests and genetic compatibility. They approached me separately after that fight we had about fertility treatments. Cole remembered that fight, his frustration at their inability to conceive, her suggestion they try more aggressive methods. The doctor told me it was an experimental protocol not covered by insurance, Naomi said. Said you'd authorized it, but wanted to spare me the details if it didn't work. I know that now. Her voice cracked slightly. They forged your signature. Show me documents. I was so desperate to give you a child, to prove I wasn't with you for your money. The unspoken accusation hung between them, his cruel words during their final fight. What happened after the procedure? Nothing at first. The doctor said it failed. 3 months later, we were divorced. She twisted her hands in her lap. When I discovered I was pregnant, I was shocked, then terrified when the ultrasound showed 4 heartbeats. Cole's mind raced, and that's when they contacted you again, a woman from the Defense Department. She explained that the Quadruplets were part of a classified human enhancement initiative. that they be monitored throughout their lives, given special education, groomed for leadership positions. Guinea pigs, Cole muttered. Exactly. When I refused to cooperate, things got complicated. She glanced back at the sleeping children. They tried legal pressure first, then surveillance, then threats disguised as concerns for national security. That's when I ran. Cole's hand found hers in the darkness, a reflexive gesture of comfort that surprised them both. She didn't pull away. I never wanted to keep them from you, she whispered. But after what you said that night, that you'd never want children that weren't biologically yours, I couldn't risk them being rejected twice. They are biologically mine, Cole said softly. Yes, but created in a lab without consent. I didn't know how you'd feel about that. I'd have wanted to know them, Naomi, to know you were carrying my children. Her hand tightened around his. I realized that now. I was scared and alone, and I made choices I thought would protect them. A road sign flashed past. Blue Ridge Mountains, 20 miles. The safe house, my father's lodge. How much farther? Cole asked. Take the next exit. There's a hidden access road. She pointed to a barely visible turn ahead. Your father reinforced the security after our last visit. It should be safe for a few days. The safe house appeared at the end of the private drive, lights warm against the Georgia pines. Who does this place belong to? Cole asked, studying the surprisingly modest hunting lodge with new eyes. Naomi's answer made his blood run cold. Your father. The only person who knew about the children from the beginning. Have you ever kept a secret to protect someone you love? Did it end up causing more pain than the truth would have? Life's hardest choices often come when we're trying to protect the people most important to us. Tell me your experience below. As Cole parked behind the lodge, hidden from the main road, the reality of their situation settled fully upon him. In 24 hours, he discovered he was a father, become a fugitive, and learned his own father had kept his children secret from him for years. Why would he do this? Cole murmured, more to himself than to Naomi. He said he was protecting your judicial career. Naomi unbuckled her seatbelt. And the children. He believed if you knew, you'd fight publicly, legally, and lose. He had no right. I know. She touched his arm gently. But right now, we need his help. The front door opened, spilling warm light onto the porch. Cole's father stood silhouetted in the doorway. Alexander Harrington, former state attorney general, now a powerful behind-the-scenes political consultant. His silver hair gleamed in the porch light, his posture still military straight, despite his 70 years. You made good time, he called softly. Let's get the little ones inside. Cole sat motionless, rage and betrayal warring with a practical need for sanctuary. Cole, Naomi said gently. The children. With a curt nod, he exited the car and opened the rear door. Olivia stirred as he lifted her, snuggling against his chest with complete trust. The simple weight of her in his arms, this child who was undeniably his, broke something open inside him. As he carried her toward the house, his father stepped aside, their eyes meeting in a silent confrontation that would have to wait until the children were settled. The bedroom on the right is prepared for them, Alexander said, his deep voice carefully controlled. Naomi knows where everything is. Cole followed Naomi through the familiar hunting lodge, now seeing it with new eyes. What he'd always known as his father's weekend retreat had clearly been modified. Reinforced windows, advanced security system, and a bedroom with 4 small beds arranged in a row, each with a stuffed animal and a nightlight. His father had been preparing for them. Together, they settled the still sleeping children, removing shoes and tucking blankets around small bodies that somehow contained his DNA, his legacy. When the door to the children's room closed behind them, Cole turned to his father in the hallway. Explain, he demanded, voice low but vibrating with anger. Now, his father. The man who taught Cole that Harringtons never compromised their principles, had been harboring the biggest secret of all, hidden in plain sight on family property. The hunting lodge's great room felt smaller than Cole remembered, though nothing had changed in the rustic decor. The same antler chandelier hung above the stone fireplace where a low fire crackled, casting long shadows across leather furniture and wool rugs. Sit down, son, Alexander Harrington said, pouring 3 fingers of bourbon into crystal tumblers. I don't want to drink, Cole snapped. I want answers. You'll need the drink, his father replied, handing him the glass anyway. Naomi took hers with a nod of thanks, settling into an armchair across from Alexander. The familiarity of their interaction struck Cole like a physical blow. They'd clearly spent time together, developing a relationship while he remained ignorant. How long have you known? Cole demanded, remaining standing. About the program? 6 years. Alexander swirled his bourbon. About your specific involvement? Not until after Naomi left. That's not possible. You would have warned me. Alexander's expression hardened. The program was classified above your security clearance, son. I was on the Congressional Oversight Committee that approved the funding. You authorized this? Cole's voice rose before he remembered the sleeping children down the hall. I authorized research into genetic enhancements for future leadership development. I did not authorize non-consensual harvesting of genetic material. Alexander's voice carried the practiced precision of a lifetime in politics. By the time I discovered what they'd done, the damage was already done. The hunting lodge's rustic exterior belied its interior sophistication. Secure communications, reinforced windows, and a playroom stocked with toys that had clearly been waiting for these specific children. So, when Naomi came to you, I helped her disappear. Alexander met his son's gaze unflinchingly. And yes, I kept it from you. You were being groomed for the federal bench. Any hint of scandal, any connection to an unauthorized genetic program, would have ended your career before it began. That wasn't your decision to make. Perhaps not, but it's done. Cole turned to Naomi. And you went along with this? She set down her untouched drink. Your father was on the oversight committee, Cole. He knew the program existed, but he never knew we were participants until after the divorce, when I had nowhere else to turn. I promised her protection, Alexander said. Financial support, new identities when necessary. In exchange for what? Cole demanded, legal training making him search for the quid pro quo. In exchange for nothing, Naomi answered sharply. Your father helped because they're his grandchildren, because it was the right thing to do. Cole paced the room, processing. If what you're saying is true, why surface now? Why risk coming to Atlanta where you knew I'd be? A look passed between Naomi and Alexander that Cole couldn't interpret. The program is fracturing, his father said. Internal power struggles. Some want to terminate it entirely, including existing subjects. Cold fear gripped Cole's chest. The children, they're considered assets, not people, Naomi said bitterly. Created for a purpose. If that purpose no longer exists, Cole sank on the couch, finally taking a long swallow of bourbon. Who's protecting them now? That Secret Service agent, Diana. She's not officially Secret Service anymore, Alexander explained. She was assigned to the program as security, discovered what was happening, and went rogue to help Naomi. There are others like her, people inside the system who recognize the moral failure. Why come to Atlanta? Cole pressed. Why now? Naomi glanced at Alexander, who nodded slightly. Your confirmation to the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court next month, she said. If approved, you'd have authority to review classified programs, including Project Themis. Someone recognized the threat you posed, Alexander added. Your security clearance review was expedited to find a reason to deny your appointment. But seeing you at the conference wasn't planned, Naomi said quickly. We were passing through, staying at a different hotel. Emma saw your picture on a conference banner and recognized you from photos I'd shown them. She wanted to see her daddy. Her voice broke slightly. I should have said no, but they deserve to know their father, Alexander finished. Cole stood and walked to the window, looking out at the dark forest surrounding them. How many others? How many children in this program? 12 total from different genetic sources, all selected from the judiciary or high-level government positions. And the others? Alexander's face grew grim. As I said, the program is fracturing. Some subjects have been recalled. Meaning what, exactly? 8 of the children have disappeared over the past year. Official records show they never existed. As the children finally settled to sleep in the other room, Cole's father's voice came from the doorway. Son, I know you have questions, but we have less than 24 hours before they declare you compromised and remove you from the bench, unless we give them what they really want. Family secrets can define generations. What would you do if you discovered your parent had hidden something life-changing from you? Would you forgive or walk away? When protection becomes deception, where do you draw the line? Share your thoughts below. Some men sold their souls for power. Cole's father had bartered something far more precious, his son's biological legacy. What exactly do they want? Cole asked, eyes fixed on the classified folder his father had placed on the coffee table. Dawn painted the lodge's great room in shades of gold and shadow as 3 generations of Harringtons reckoned with a truth too heavy for whispers. Cole's hands gripping the leather armchair, so tightly his knuckles matched the white of his judicial collar. Your cooperation, Alexander replied. Your silence, and eventually, your legal authority to protect the program from oversight. And if I refuse, then you'll be labeled a security risk. Your judgeship revoked. Your access to the children legally terminated. Alexander's voice remained steady, the voice that had once advised presidents. Worst case, they'll claim you stole classified material, this material, and prosecute you for treason. Cole nearly laughed. They violated my body, created my children without consent, and I'm the criminal? Naomi moved between Cole and his father when voices rose, her hand pressing against his chest. The familiar gesture that once could calm his courtroom temper, still effective after all these years apart. There's more, she said quietly. Show him, Alexander. His father opened the classified file, spreading photographs across the table. Children in clinical settings, electrodes attached to small heads. Growth charts, brain scans compared to standard development. Genetic sequences highlighted in yellow. Project Themis wasn't just about creating exceptional children, Alexander explained. It was about creating the perfect future leaders. Enhanced intelligence, heightened emotional regulation, accelerated pattern recognition. You're talking about designer babies, Cole said, disgust evident in his voice. I'm talking about your children, his father corrected, who, despite how they came to be, are extraordinary. Cole examined a report detailing cognitive tests. At 2.5 years old, the quadruplets were functioning at almost twice their age level in verbal reasoning and problem solving. This is why they're valuable, Naomi said softly, and dangerous to the program if exposed. How many people know about this? The full program? Maybe 20 people with complete knowledge. The oversight committee gets sanitized reports. The scientists know their specific roles, but not the big picture. Compartmentalization. Classic black ops structure, Cole muttered, legal mind cataloging violations of at least a dozen federal laws. The children weren't supposed to be quadruplets, his father continued. That was an unexpected outcome that created complications. What complications? Alexander and Naomi exchanged another look. Identical copies mean identical enhancements, Naomi explained. 4 children with exactly the same exceptional abilities. Too many to control easily, too visible together. They wanted to separate them, Cole realized. Study them in isolation. Naomi nodded, eyes filling with tears. When I refused, they threatened to take custody through national security channels. That's when I ran. Cole moved to the window, watching the first rays of sunlight filter through pine trees. His entire life, the career he'd built, the reputation he'd earned, seemed suddenly hollow compared to the weight of what his father had placed before him. This wasn't a rogue operation, Cole said finally, turning back to face them. This was approved at the highest levels. Yes, then exposing it could bring down people far above my pay grade. Alexander leaned forward. Now you understand the danger. No, Cole said sharply. Now I understand our leverage. His father's eyebrows rose in surprise. You taught me never to negotiate from weakness, Cole continued. These children aren't just medical experiments. They're living, breathing evidence of constitutional violations, human rights abuses, and illegal genetic manipulation. If this went public, it would destroy careers, Alexander finished. including mine. I don't care about careers, Cole said fiercely. I care about those 4 children sleeping down the hall. My children. Naomi moved to stand beside him, her shoulder brushing his, a small gesture of solidarity that carried the weight of years. What's your plan? She asked quietly. Before Cole could answer, a phone rang, a secure line installed in his father's study. Alexander's expression darkened as he went to answer it. When he returned moments later, his face was grim. That was my contact at the Department of Justice. They've authorized a retrieval team. Full tactical response. They'll be here within 6 hours. For the children? For all of you. Alexander pulled a thumb drive from his pocket. This contains everything I have on Project Themis. Names, authorizations, funding sources, locations. He pressed it into Cole's hand. There's a cabin further up the mountain. It's not in my name. Take the children there while I delay them here. Cole stared at the small device, now burning in his palm. Why give me this now? His father's eyes, the same blue as Cole's as the children's, held a mixture of regret and resolve. Because I made the wrong choice once. I won't make it again. His father slid the classified file across the table, government seals broken. Project Themis created 12 children from judges across the country. 8 have already disappeared. You're 4 are the only ones still free. If you discovered someone had used your genetics without permission, even for supposedly greater good, could you forgive them? Where do we draw the line between scientific progress and personal rights? How far would you go to protect a family you just discovered? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. In a courthouse, evidence determined fate. In this nightmare, the evidence of what had been done to create his children could destroy them all. They worked with grim efficiency. Cole reviewing classified documents, Naomi packing essentials for the children, Alexander securing their escape route. Morning sunlight filtered through reinforced windows as they prepared for what increasingly felt like war. Spread across the lodge's dining table, government documents created a paper trail of ambition and overreach. Project directors' signatures, congressional approvals, and photographs of facilities where science crossed ethical lines without hesitation. Look at this, Cole said, holding up a memo. Initial authorization signed by the previous administration's attorney general, renewed by the current one. Bipartisan support, Alexander noted grimly. Makes it harder to frame as a partisan witch hunt if we go public. How did this even start? Cole asked, scanning facility blueprints. Military research initially, his father explained. They wanted soldiers with enhanced capabilities. When ethical concerns shut down direct military applications, they pivoted to leadership development, created a civilian oversight board stacked with sympathetic voices. Cole held up a photograph of a sterile lab where children, not his own, but others in the program, were connected to monitoring equipment. This isn't leadership development. This is experimentation. That's why some of the program want to shut it down completely, Naomi said, entering with a tray of coffee. The evidence is too damning. Including the evidence sleeping down the hall, Alexander added. As if summoned by the reference, Emma appeared in the doorway, rubbing sleepy eyes. Daddy, she called, looking directly at Cole. The word hit him like a physical force. He'd heard her call him that last night, but in the morning light, with danger closing in, it carried new weight. Yes, sweetheart. He answered, kneeling to her level. Ethan said you might leave again. Her blue eyes, his eyes, studied him with unnerving perception. Are you? No, Cole said firmly. I'm not leaving, but we all need to go somewhere else for a little while. Like an adventure. Another adventure? She frowned. We just had one yesterday. I know, but this one's important. He searched for words a 3-year-old might understand. Some people want to take you and your brothers and sister away from mommy and me. We're not going to let that happen. Emma considered this, then nodded solemnly. Because we're special. Yes, Cole agreed, feeling a rush of protectiveness. Because you're special. And because we love you. The words came naturally, surprising him. Love, already, for children he'd known less than a day. But undeniable. Can I help pack? Emma asked. That would be wonderful, Naomi said, taking her hand. Let's get your brothers and sister ready too. As they left, Cole turned back to the documents, legal mind methodically building a case. If we went public, took this to the media, they discredit you immediately, Alexander interrupted. Paint you as mentally unstable, possibly dangerous. They produce records showing you knew about the program all along. Falsified records, which would take months to disprove, during which time the children would be in protective custody. Alexander's air quotes conveyed his disgust. The legal system you've dedicated your life to can be weaponized, son. You know that better than most. Cole didn't know. He'd seen it from the bench, how justice could be delayed, evidence suppressed, narratives controlled. But he'd never imagined being on the receiving end. Then we need leverage, Cole decided, organizing the most damning documents. Insurance. Alexander smiled slightly. Now you're thinking like a Harrington. I'm thinking like a father, Cole corrected. They worked through the morning, the children occasionally wandering in to watch with curious eyes before Naomi redirected them. By noon, they had assembled what Cole called their nuclear option, a comprehensive file exposing Project Themis, with instructions for release to specific journalists, lawmakers, and international organizations if anything happened to them. We should split up, Alexander suggested as they prepared to leave. They'll be looking for all of you together. And you? Cole asked. I'll stay here. Buy you time. Alexander checked his watch. My security contact estimates they're 3 hours out. I could delay them further with some well-placed calls. Naomi entered, children dressed in outdoor clothes behind her. Everything's packed. The kids are ready. I've been thinking, Cole said. The cabin is the obvious first place they'll look after here. We need somewhere else. I have a colleague, Naomi offered, a civil rights attorney in Charlotte. She has a lake house in the mountains, completely off-grid. We stayed there once before. Cole nodded. That works, but we still need to split up. 2 children with each of us. Naomi's face paled. Cole, it's safer, he insisted gently. If they catch one of us, they don't get all 4. And we'll have a better chance of escaping notice in smaller groups. The logic was sound, but the pain in her eyes told him what this would cost her, separating from children she protected alone for 3 years. I'll take Emma and Noah, he said. You take Ethan and Olivia. We'll meet at your friend's lake house tomorrow night. The security system chimed as vehicles approached the property. The monitors showed black SUVs with government plates. They're earlier than we expected, Cole's father said grimly. You have 5 minutes to decide. Surrender to protective custody or become fugitives from the country you've sworn to serve. How far should science go in improving human genetics? Would you want to know if your children have been genetically enhanced? Or would some truths be too difficult to bear? What price would you pay for knowledge? And what price for ignorance? Share your thoughts below. For a federal judge to become a fugitive required not just evidence, but certainty beyond reasonable doubt that the system he'd sworn to uphold was now the greatest threat to his family. Cole had that certainty. Take the children out the back, Alexander ordered, moving toward the front door. The maintenance trail through the woods connects to the service road. Keys to the backup vehicle are in the usual place. Cole grabbed the packed bags while Naomi gathered the children, who sensed the tension and remained unusually quiet. What will you tell them? Cole asked his father. That you were here, but left yesterday. That I haven't heard from you. Alexander straightened his shoulders. I'll buy you as much time as I can. Cole hesitated, years of complicated history suspended between them. Thank you, he said finally. His father nodded once, emotion briefly cracking his composed exterior. Protect them, all of them. His eyes lingered on the quadruplets. They're extraordinary, Cole, not just because of what was done to them, but because they're yours. Government agents filled the lodge's entrance hall, their dark suits and earpieces stark against rustic wood beams. Power and authority facing off against a newly formed family with nothing left to lose. Through the rear window, Cole watched his father greet the approaching agents with the easy confidence of a man accustomed to power. Then he ushered Naomi and the children toward the back door. The woods behind the lodge offered cover, but moving quickly with 4 3-year-olds proved challenging. Despite the circumstances, Cole felt a surge of pride watching them navigate the rough terrain without complaint, following Naomi's quiet instructions with practiced obedience. They reached the service road where an unmarked SUV waited, hidden under a canopy of trees. "This is where we split up?" Cole said, turning to Naomi. She stood frozen, the reality of separation visibly tearing at her. "I can't." "You can," he said firmly. "You've been protecting them alone for 3 years. Trust me to do the same." Tears filled her eyes as she knelt before Emma and Noah. "You're going with Daddy for a little while," she explained, voice steady despite her tears. "Be brave and listen to everything he says, okay? When will we see you again, Mommy?" Noah asked, bottom lip trembling. "Very soon," she promised. "Tomorrow night." Emma, ever perceptive, studied her mother's face. "You're scared." "A little," Naomi admitted. "But being brave doesn't mean not being scared. It means doing what's right even when you are scared." Cole knelt beside her. "Your mom is the bravest person I know," he told the children. "And we're all going to be together soon." Naomi turned to Cole, suddenly gripping his arms. "If anything happens, if we're separated longer, there's a safety protocol. The children know it." "What protocol?" "Ask them about Constellation." Her eyes burned into his. "They'll understand." Cole took her face in his hands, thumbs brushing her cheekbones. "This isn't goodbye. A Harrington keeps his promises, and I'm promising you now, I will find you again." For a breathless moment, they remained frozen, years of hurt and misunderstanding suspended between them. Then, with a swift movement that surprised them both, Naomi pressed her lips to his, brief, desperate, filled with everything unsaid. 48 hours, she whispered. "If I don't make it to the lake house, take them to Diana. She knows the backup plan." Before he could respond, she turned to Ethan and Olivia, helping them into her vehicle while Cole settled Emma and Noah into the SUV. The children waved to their siblings as the car started, unaware of the dangers necessitating their separation. As Naomi's vehicle disappeared around a bend, Cole focused on the road ahead, navigating winding mountain passages while checking constantly for pursuit. "Daddy," Emma's voice came from the back seat. "Are the bad people trying to catch us again?" The question gutted him. Again, meant they'd experienced this before. "Some people are looking for us," he answered carefully. "But they won't find us. That's what Mommy always says," Noah commented, looking out the window. "But we still have to keep moving." The simple observation from a 3-year-old broke something open in Cole's chest. These children had never known stability or safety. Their entire lives had been spent in hiding. "This time is different," Cole promised, meeting their eyes in the rearview mirror. "This time you have me too." Emma nodded solemnly. "Because you're a judge." Mommy said judges protect people. "That's right," Cole agreed, throat tight. "And nothing is more important to me than protecting you." They drove in silence for several miles, the children watching the scenery with alert eyes that missed nothing. Occasionally, they whispered to each other, private communications that reminded Cole how little he knew them. His phone rang, the burner his father had provided. "Cole Harrington, Judge Harrington." A woman's voice, professional but warm. "This is Diana Reynolds." "Go ahead," he said cautiously. "Your father's delaying tactics worked, but they've figured out you've split up. They're focusing resources on finding Naomi and the twins." Cole's grip tightened on the steering wheel. "What?" "The girls show more advanced development than the boys. They're prioritizing their recovery." Cold fear gripped his chest. "Recovery. Their word, not mine," Diana clarified. "Sir, you need to change directions. The route to Charlotte is being monitored. Suggestions? Head west instead. I have contacts in Knoxville who can provide temporary shelter." "Understood." "And Judge Harrington? They've issued federal warrants for both you and Naomi. Interference with a classified national security program. They're freezing your accounts as we speak." As Naomi disappeared into the woods with 2 children, Cole turned to face the government delegation with the other 2 holding his hands. "Gentlemen," he said, channeling his courtroom authority, "I believe you're interfering with a federal judge's custody rights. That's a very dangerous legal position to take. What would you risk to protect your family from a threat?" even if that threat came from institutions you once trusted. Have you ever had to choose between duty and love? When systems fail us, do we have a moral obligation to work outside them? Share your experiences below. Cole had built his reputation winning unwinnable cases. Now, with his children's freedom at stake, he prepared to deliver the performance of his lifetime. Knoxville appeared on the horizon as evening approached, city lights blinking to life against the darkening sky. In the back seat, Emma and Noah had finally succumbed to exhaustion, their small heads nodding together as they slept. Diana's contact, a former military intelligence officer named Marcus, met them at a nondescript warehouse on the outskirts of town. Inside, contrary to its industrial exterior, was a comfortable living space with secure communications equipment and supplies. "The children can sleep here," Marcus said, showing Cole a room with 2 small beds. "We've got clothes, food, everything they'll need." Cole carried the sleeping children inside, laying them gently on the beds. They barely stirred, exhaustion overriding their usual vigilance. He stood watching them for a long moment, marveling at how quickly they'd become the center of his world. "They look like you," Marcus observed quietly from the doorway. "They are me," Cole replied. "At least partly." In the main room, they got down to business. Marcus had set up a secure laptop connected to a satellite uplink. "Untraceable," he assured Cole. "Diana filled me in on the basics," Marcus said. "Project Themis, genetic enhancement, government overreach. But I need details if I'm going to help you effectively." Cole hesitated, weighing trust against caution. "I served with Diana in Afghanistan," Marcus added. "She wouldn't have sent you to me if she didn't trust me completely." Decision made, Cole pulled out the thumb drive his father had given him. "Everything about the program is here. But what I need most is a secure way to contact some people without being traced." "Who?" "Former clerks, colleagues on the bench, people who can help create leverage." Marcus nodded. "I can arrange that. What's your play here, Judge? You can't run forever." "I'm not planning to." Cole's mouth set in a determined line. "I'm planning to fight back." Cole's temporary office at the Atlanta Federal Courthouse became command central. Law books and children's coloring books sharing the massive oak desk as he moved legal mountains while teaching his daughters to write their names. Over the next 12 hours, Cole executed his strategy. Through encrypted channels, he contacted 5 federal judges he trusted implicitly, men and women whose integrity was beyond question. He shared select documents, not enough to endanger them, but sufficient to prove his claims. "I need eyes inside the system," he explained to Marcus as they worked. "People who can monitor for legal movements against us. And if they decide you're the threat, they won't." Cole's confidence wasn't arrogance, but calculated assessment. "These judges took the same oath I did, to uphold the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic." By morning, responses began filtering in. Judge Lena Washington in San Francisco. "Evidence received. Deeply disturbing. Count on my support." Judge Michael Takutta in Chicago. "Monitoring federal filings in your jurisdiction. Nothing yet, but they're laying groundwork." Most crucially, Judge Thomas Reynolds, Diana's father, on the D.C. Circuit Court. "Similar case crossed my desk 6 months ago. Mother seeking emergency protection from government research program. Case sealed immediately. Woman disappeared the next day. Proceeding with extreme caution on your behalf." Cole's strategy expanded beyond legal channels. Through Diana, he arranged for a respected journalist to receive a carefully curated package of evidence, not for immediate publication, but as insurance. If anything happened to them, the full story would break simultaneously across multiple platforms. Between calls and planning, Cole focused on the children. Emma and Noah woke disoriented but calmed quickly when they saw him. They adapted to their new surroundings with resilience that both impressed and saddened him. Clear evidence of their nomadic life. "When will we see Mommy and Ethan and Olivia?" Noah asked over breakfast. "Soon," Cole promised, helping him with his cereal. "They're just taking a different path to meet us." Emma watched him with eyes too perceptive for her age. "The bad people are after them more than us, aren't they?" Cole nearly dropped his coffee mug. "Why do you say that?" Because Olivia and I can do more things than the boys, she said matter-of-factly. The doctors always want to test us more. Cold dread settled in Cole's stomach. What kind of things, Emma? Instead of answering, she pointed to his secure phone on the counter. That's going to ring in 10 seconds. Before Cole could respond, the phone rang exactly as she predicted. Diana's voice came through, tense and urgent. We've lost contact with Naomi. Her last check-in was 4 hours ago near the Tennessee border. The secure phone buzzed with Naomi's emergency signal. 3 short, 1 long. The rendezvous was compromised. In the surveillance photo she managed to send, armed men surrounded the cabin where she and the twins had been hiding. Have you ever used your professional position to protect someone you love? Where's the line between using your influence and abusing power? Has a child ever surprised you with perception beyond their years? Comment below with your thoughts. Cole had presided over hundreds of emergency hearings, but none where the relief sought was his children's lives and the opposing counsel carried tactical weapons. Send me the coordinates, Cole demanded, already moving toward his bag. Judge Harrington, you can't go there, Diana objected. It's almost certainly a trap. They have my children, he responded, voice like steel. And their mother. Marcus stepped in. She's right. Going in without intel or backup is suicide. Cole's judicial temperament, the calm, measured approach that had defined his career, warred with the primal instinct to protect his family at any cost. Logic prevailed, barely. What do we know? He asked, forcing his voice to steady. Diana relayed what information she had. Naomi had reached a safe house, but tripped some kind of surveillance. Her last message indicated she had escaped the initial capture attempt, but was pinned down with limited options. The good news, Diana concluded, is that if they had successfully captured them, they wouldn't still have the area surrounded. So they're still free, Cole said, hope flaring. But trapped. Exactly. Rain lashed against the tactical van's windows as Cole studied satellite imagery. His judicial robe exchanged for tactical black, his measured courtroom voice now clipped with military precision as he directed the extraction team. Marcus had connections, former Special Forces operators who worked private security, men who owed him favors. Within 3 hours, they had assembled a small but elite team willing to help extract civilians from government custody, an act that technically constituted treason, a fact no one mentioned but everyone understood. The cabin sits here, Marcus pointed to the satellite image. Remote location, 1 access road, heavy forest coverage. Advantage for stealth approach, noted one of the team members, a former Navy SEAL. Disadvantage for quick extraction. Cole studied the terrain, thinking of Naomi and the twins hiding somewhere in that wilderness. What's our timeline? Nightfall gives us the best opportunity, Marcus replied. 2 hours from now. Too long, Cole argued. It's their best chance, Marcus countered firmly. We go in daylight. We lose any advantage we might have. Cole knew he was right, but every minute felt like an eternity. He turned to find Emma and Noah watching solemnly from the doorway. You're going to get Mommy, Emma stated. Cole knelt to their level. Yes, and your brother and sister. We want to come too, Noah insisted. That's not possible, buddy. Cole brushed the boy's hair from his forehead, the same cowlick he'd had at that age. You need to stay here where it's safe. Emma fixed him with an unervingly direct gaze. Constellation, she said. Cole remembered Naomi's words. Ask them about Constellation. They'll understand. Tell me about Constellation, he said carefully. Emma glanced at her brother, who nodded slightly. It's how we find each other, she explained. If we get separated, we can feel where the others are. Cole looked between them, uncertain. Feel where they are. Noah nodded earnestly. Like a pull. Emma's best at it. She always knows. Cole turned to Marcus, who appeared equally skeptical. But desperation pushed aside disbelief. Emma, can you feel where Olivia is right now? The little girl closed her eyes, face scrunching in concentration. She's scared, she whispered. They're in a cave, not the cabin. East side of the mountain. Cole's legal mind wanted evidence, proof, something beyond a child's intuition. But something deeper, perhaps the same genetic connection that linked these children, made him inclined to believe. Can you show me on a map? Emma approached the satellite image, studying it with remarkable focus for a 3-year-old. After a moment, she pointed to an area about half a mile from the cabin. There's water nearby, a small waterfall. Marcus zoomed in on the area. There are cave systems throughout these mountains. Some aren't on any official maps. One of the team members leaned forward. I know that area. Local kids use those caves. There's one behind a waterfall, just like she described. Cole looked at his daughter with new understanding and new questions about exactly what enhancements Project Themis had engineered. Can you tell if they're hurt? Emma shook her head, just scared and cold. Decision made, Cole turned to the team. Change of plans. We focus on the cave system, not the cabin. As darkness fell, the rescue operation launched. Cole had insisted on accompanying them despite everyone's objections. I'm not asking permission, he'd stated flatly. They're my children. The team moved through the forest with practiced silence, night vision equipment guiding them through the darkness. Rain provided cover for their approach, muffling sounds and limiting visibility, an advantage when facing an enemy with superior numbers and technology. Cole's heart hammered against his ribs, fear and determination driving him forward. The terrain was treacherous, mud slicking steep inclines, but he pushed on, following the team leader's silent signals. The waterfall appeared through the trees, silver threads in the darkness. Behind it, partially concealed by the flowing water, the dark mouth of a cave. A crackling voice came through their encrypted comms. Target located. 2 adult hostiles guarding cave entrance. Rules of engagement? The team leader asked. Cole thought of Naomi and the children huddled inside, cold and frightened. Non-lethal, he ordered, but get them out of our way. The team moved with practiced efficiency. 2 operatives circled wide, approaching the guards from behind while diversions drew attention elsewhere. Within minutes, the entrance was clear. Cole rushed forward, caution forgotten in his desperate need to reach his family. Inside the cave, darkness gave way to faint light. A small emergency lantern illuminating 3 huddled figures. Naomi, he called softly. She spun toward his voice, clutching the twins protectively until recognition dawned. Cole, she gasped, relief breaking across her face like sunrise. He crossed to them in 3 strides, gathering all 3 into his arms. The twins clung to him, crying quietly, while Naomi pressed her forehead against his shoulder. You came, she whispered, voice thick with emotion. I promised, didn't I? He replied, tightening his hold. A Harrington keeps his promises. Naomi stumbled from the cabin into his arms. Children clutched against her. They know everything, she gasped against his neck. They have DNA samples. They don't need our children anymore. They just need to eliminate the evidence. When was the last time you put everything on the line for someone you love? Would you break the law to protect your family if you believe the system had failed them? Tell me about a time when your instincts told you something your logic couldn't explain. Were you right? Share your story below.